everybody, welcome to Crick Punts with Fussy. I know these are the lines that Fussy should be saying, but he's very new to this YouTubing game, so I'm just helping him ease in. This is his channel. Give him an encouragement, give it a like, share, subscribe. This channel will be all about eating, sleeping, talking, jumping, hopping, crying about cricket, and cricket alone. So the point of this channel is generally me and my brother Fussy. We have been watching cricket for almost 20 years now. 20 15 20 years, and every time after a cricket match we have a phone conversation for 2 hours, an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours sometimes. We thought, you know what, instead of having that conversation on phone, we will take that conversation on YouTube live. So this may not be live, but in future we'll be doing live streams every time there is a match that ends, an interesting match, not every single match, most probably Indian matches. But yep, that's a little brief about the channel. And in the upcoming videos, Fussy will take over as the host, but this video I'll be hosting and he'll act like a guest. And mind you, uh, the reason why I made him start this channel is because he's a much better cricket analyst than I am, 10 times better. He has literally watched all the. How many hours have you spent watching the test match? Like, yeah,
I've watched every
8 into
single
5.
ball.
Every single ball of
Wake
every
up at
single
4:30
Indian
every
test
day.
match.
Wake up at
Yeah.
4:30 every day and watch every single ball. I don't leave the the chatter after the match, the post innings ceremonies. I watch everything.
Right. We are talking about entire 45 hours of cricket watching for the whole test match, and that would amount to almost 600 plus 600, 3,000 balls. You have watched all the 3,000 balls of of a test match,
Yeah,
approximately, right?
almost, yes.
Right. So, hence, he is a better analyst. And I wake up at 12 o'clock in the morning and catch up with the highlights. So, I'm totally not the person to talk about every single ball and every single session and every single nuance of the match that has happened. He is the better person. So, give him a shout out, give him an encouragement. And moving on, today was the day of history for India. What a massive victory, and it's a draw, but it is a victory nevertheless, given the circumstances, given the shit that India has been through. We will talk about all of that. Fasi, what just happened?
Well, it was well. To be honest, it's very hard to explain to someone who doesn't know cricket and especially doesn't know test match. You've worked hard, you've toiled hard for 5 days, and it still doesn't end in a result. But it was a massive. I call it a win personally. I call it a win. It's a win for India because if you consider the situations that were happening in the match, the players we were losing because of the injuries, and to come back on
Mm,
fifth day on a pitch like this, which was uneven, and just battle it out. And the character shown by India was just so heartening. I've not seen any cricket team in the recent times who have come to Australia and played so well. Even in the match we lost, we were in Adelaide. Mm, we were in the match for the whole test match, barring that 1 hour, 1 hour of
mm,
batting collapse. So it was just amazing. It was test cricket at its best.
mm. And what was the last event? What were some of the draw victory celebrations that you remember? The things that I remember is Australia drawing a test match back in 2005 Ashes, and I also remember the recent test match that Australia drew against Pakistan, where Khwaja
Pakistan,
played that
yes.
freak of an innings.
Yeah, and Tim
And
Payne has also played a good innings there. He was the one
mm,
who stayed till the end.
mm, and yeah, so that and now this obviously makes it a lot better because a lot happened to the Indian team. Especially we were basically a bunch of Ismails from Lagan, right? Basically we had 3 4 Ismails from Lagan and they just stood there. That's what happened.
Yeah, yeah. If you just see, we were playing a bench team. It's like India A
Hmm.
versus Australia because you don't have the skipper Virat Kohli,
Hmm. Hmm.
and you've lost a bunch of people even before coming to the tour. People like Ishan Sharma,
Hmm.
Bhuvneshwar Kumar, and then you come onto the tour and you lose one of your premium fast bowlers, Mohammad Shami, and in the middle of the
Hmm.
match you lose Umesh Yadav. I'm sorry, and
Hmm.
and then you lose KL Rahul, and you have injuries to Jadeja, who has just provided so much balance to the team in the last 2 matches, and there was an injury scare for Rishabh Pant, and then Vihari playing with
Hmm.
a injured hamstring. So considering all this, I don't think anyone would have given a chance on the start of
Mm.
today's play, but it was just absolutely amazing. And one thing that really stood out to me, that they were not looking to block every single ball. They didn't go into a shell from
Mm.
the start of the day. They were actually going for the win, and that's just visible from the way Rishabh Pant played. It was just amazing. He didn't let Nathan Lyon settle. He didn't, in fact, he didn't let any of the ballers settle. But Nathan Lyon was very crucial on this pitch, on day 5 pitch. But he just didn't let him settle. He was smacking him all over the park, and it just didn't
Mm.
matter if there was long on or long off. He was just going down the track and smacking them over his head.
And what a masterful move, huh? Generally, Vihari follows Rahane,
Yeah,
but what just happened?
yeah. So in the post-match presentation, Rahane was just telling that. But my what I made of it, what I made of that move is, they probably thought that you know. We lost Rahane early. So there's no point just blocking it out there, because you just can't block it for 90 overs against this attack. So why not just go there and upset their rhythm?
Hmm.
So they would have told Pant to, like, just back your ability and just play your natural game, and let's see what happens.
Mm. Mm.
And Pant actually took his time. He was
Mm.
5 runs or 7 runs of 30 odd balls. And then I don't know what happened. It's like he flipped a switch and he was like, enough is enough. And he just came down the track and started smacking every baller. So, yeah, it turned out to be a masterful stroke.
Speaking of the drawathon, blockathon matches,
Mhm.
I also remember 2012 ABD and Faf playing out against India.
Yeah.
You remember that match?
Yes. And
And
yeah, yeah, go ahead.
Vihari and Ashwin, there was a meme where ABD and Faf's faces were replaced by Vihari and Ashwin. And there was another meme where Lakshman and Dravid's faces were replaced by Vihari and Ashwin. So,
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that is what we Indian fans were expecting, actually, and we were actually expecting it from Rahane and Pujara. But it's actually nice to see that some of the other players stepping up. Not only the senior players like Vihari and Ashwin finally, getting some touch back with his bat, and Rishabh Pant was just amazing.
talk about the character, huh? The kind of blows they took. One on the head, one on the ribs, one on the wrist. What one? This guy had a hamstring. I mean, if Vihari didn't have a hamstring scare, I think it was game on. India
Yeah,
would have not played for the draw.
yes, because if you see, so let's talk about the character first. So it was quite visible in Melbourne as well. After taking a hammering and getting all out for 36, you just don't expect any team to come back from that, let alone win. And the way they came back and won in Melbourne, and the captain leading the way, and then you come here and you're just playing. India literally played catch up the whole match, right? They conceded a big first innings total. They were not up to the mark in the first innings of their batting, and they conceded a big lead, 400 target, and to not get deflated by the target and all the things which were happening. And there were things happening off the pitch, regarding the biosecure bio bubble breach and the Brisbane
Hmm.
test match. So it just goes out to show that how strong our team is mentally. And
Hmm.
it was just amazing. I mean, you would just not expect it. And the way our opener started, I think that laid a
Hmm.
platform. And because it allowed Pujara to come at a very late stage of the innings after 20
Hmm.
overs, I guess. So the ball was soft, and he didn't have to, like, undergo any pressure which he usually does when he comes out to bat in the 5th or 10th over,
Hmm.
right? And
And
yeah,
hmm. Bol.
yeah. So, and yeah, the character. Well, we all thought that India would not give up, and that's exactly what
Hmm.
happened. It was just amazing to see, and we just can't wait for the fourth Test match to start.
And the banter they were throwing, right? It's like the like let's talk about Aussies for a second.
Yeah,
I mean, we call India Pakistan as rivalry. I'm like, fuck that. India Australia is the rivalry,
yeah,
and nothing makes me more happier than Australians losing their shit. And and when they lose their shit, they just have no control what comes out of the mouth.
yeah, and that credit goes to Rishabh Pant,
Mm.
because, and which was, but I was actually surprised, because
Mm,
when Rishabh Pant was batting, you know, the moment he got out, the target was 160. So
mm,
160 are a lot of runs,
mm.
especially
On a fourth
considering,
day,
yeah,
on a fifth
on a
day.
fifth day, and considering that
Mm,
India were a batsman short in Ravindra
mm,
Jadeja. 160 are
mm,
a lot of runs. They had a lot of overs, and they went defensive way too soon. I think they
mm,
panicked the moment Rishabh Pant started smacking, and I don't know what was the thought process, but I think Australia missed a trick there, because they could have been more attacking, and Shane Warne was pointing out the same thing. I mean, they had five fielders on the outfield. Where do you see that
mm,
on a fifth day on a test
mm,
match?
mm,
When you have a target of 404, you still have
mm,
some 170, 180 odd runs still to defend, and you have five
mm.
fielders out on the boundary, which was just which was baffling. And I think Australia missed a trick there, and they went defensive way too soon. They started to
Mm.
freak out, I guess. And seeing that, Pujara also picked up the pace, and Australia just lost it from there. They were just
Did you see? Did you see any mistakes repeating from the Headingley to here under Tim Paine's captaincy?
uh, captaincy. Yeah, they were not aggressive enough, I guess, because they could have uh, they could have been more aggressive than Headingley here, because they had a lot of runs.
Mm,
405 is the target, and the other thing is, see, if you what makes this Australian attack so good is they're so relentless in their line and lengths, the way they
mm,
bowled in the first innings. But if you see the pitch map of the balls in the second innings,
mm,
especially in the
mm.
last session where they freaked out, only 13 balls went on to hit the stumps.
I
Rest of
was
them,
I was watching the stat. Yeah, I
yeah,
was.
and
Someone was pointing the stat. Yeah.
yeah, and rest of them were all short balls. I mean, what was the point? You're seeing that the odd ball on the fourth fifth stump line, on a good length, is misbehaving. It's doing something of the pitch, and you still persist with the short ball. Yes, an odd short ball is fine, but they were just overdoing it, and then they started doing a lot of things. They were trying slow balls, yorkers, a lot of things, but it just didn't work out.
They were basically doing what India usually does with the tail,
With
right?
the tail,
Indian
yes,
bowling.
absolutely, absolutely. So they just see, it worked on the first innings, it worked in the first innings. It's the same players. The pitch has deteriorated even more. There's variable bounce. You just keep it simple, but I don't think what were the tactics there. But I thought they will eventually realize that and come back stronger in the last session. I thought after the break they'll correct their lines and they'll start bowling more on the fourth, fifth stump, but with an odd short ball and a short ball barrage in between. But they just overdid it. And yes, Ashwin was uncomfortable in the beginning, but he soon got a hang of the short balls and he started playing them well. So I think Australia missed a trick there, and that has repeated again from Headingley, where they tried way too many things than keeping it simple.
Is Ashwin man of the day for the way he played Nathan Lyon? Like, whoa, that was some great batting.
That
Let's be honest.
was defense at its best. If you want to teach young kids how to defend the ball, show him that
Mm.
footage. He was so brilliant. He was just blocking it out, blocking it out.
Closing the bat like this so that the ball hits and the only way it goes is down.
Yeah, and Ajit Agarkar actually I'm sorry, Murli Karthik actually pointed out excellent point on air, that him being a spinner as well, I think he
Mm,
knows the angles better and way how much the ball is going to swing, because
mm,
he was not keeping his bat where the ball was pitching. He was
mm,
keeping his bat close to the pad, and the pad was exactly where the ball would end up after spinning, after pitching and spinning. The bat and the pad were exactly in that position. I think that helped him, but it was just
mm.
so good to see. And I think the top order batsman can take a leaf out of it
Yeah.
on how to just defend him, and you can
Someone
take
made a
a,
point.
yeah,
Someone made a point. I think Manjrekar made a point. Like Ashwin has played Lion than anybody else in the series,
yeah, yeah, and you
which
can
was a
say that.
hmm,
You can say that, because the way he was defending him, and Lion tried so many variations. He tried the quick ball.
yeah.
He came from around the wicket, over the wicket, but he had answers to everything. So
Mm.
yeah, that was very nice to see, and I think everyone can take a leaf out of it, and hopefully they play him better in the next match.
I just remember going hard on Ashwin whenever he got injured. Even the last series in Australia, he got injured at a very crucial match. We were like very angry. In
Yeah,
England, he got injured at a very crucial match. Very angry. I think redemption for Ashwin. Don't you think?
yeah, because to be honest, before the start of the last session, I thought Australia will just run through the Indian batting lineup. One good ball, Hazelwood was looking dangerous. Cummins is always dangerous. So I just thought they'll just run through. But the way he weathered the storm, because it's so easy for a, I mean, let's be honest, he's a lower order batsman, and
Mm,
it can be very easy for him to just throw it away when someone is pounding the ball halfway down the pitch at 145
mm,
kilometers, and it's hurting him. But he just stayed there. He stayed calm, and they just complemented each other both very well. And
mm.
so yeah, it was redemption, especially considering that everyone was saying Jadeja should play ahead of him, but he's been brilliant with the ball so far, and he just proved he's brilliant with the bat as well.
Mm. And like, what a thriller, right? Like, Test cricket at its best. I mean, there is nothing to be scored, nothing to be had. It's like every ball was an event, right? Every ball was like so close to bat bat. Every ball was so close to bat bat for an
Yeah,
LBW, right?
yeah,
And the edge. I think in the end, again, the Stark bowled some brilliant balls in the end. The one that jacked off away
yeah,
from Vihari was just, I could not believe how he didn't get a wicket for that. So
yeah.
what a thriller, right? Test cricket thrill.
Absolutely, and you don't say this often these days, but because test matches don't go to fifth day, but
Mm,
it was exactly what we were hoping for. It was just amazing. It was because Australians were relentless, even though they missed a trick, but they were still relentless. It's an amazing bowling attack, and Indians showing some steel and blocking it out, and there were no runs. Because I remember at some point in the last session, it was like last 50 balls, 0 runs
mm,
scored, 0 run rate. It
mm,
was all because no one cared about the runs. It was just about uh, defending the balls, how to let them go, and Australia was searching for how we can get them out. So they were
mm.
placing some aggressive fields in the last 20 overs, so many bat pads, leg gully, leg slip, so many slips, and it didn't work out. And there was a rub of green for India as well. The edges didn't carry sometimes. They were in the vacant areas, and it didn't
Hey,
help that.
fielding has been pathetic. They drop catches, we drop
Yeah, and
catches. Let's be
I was
yeah.
about to say that it didn't help that
Mm,
Australia dropped so many catches, especially Tim
mm,
Payne dropped three, two of
mm,
Rishabh Pant. So that too very early in his innings. He was on six, the first drop catch, and again at 56. So I think yeah, that cost them. And yeah, we've seen that in the first match, India dropped so many catches. India
mm.
lost the match in Melbourne. Australia dropped the catches and they lost the match. So yeah, it's very crucial, and the standard of fielding has been quite low, surprisingly, in this series.
And uh, what a the way sport humbles you, right? It just reminds you again and again that you can never conquer this game. Because at the start of the series I thought, okay, 2-0, 2-0 Australia. And then a week back I did a podcast with Asjad from cricket for us, and there I said that, you know what, I was very dumb to say that there will be a draw, right? Because when was the last time a draw happened these
Yeah,
days? So I'll be like, yeah, I'm first of all, 2-0 was a dumb thing to say to begin with. Now we had a draw today. So yeah, I mean, cricket and sport in general forever is just ever humbling, ever surprising. It never ceases to kind of amaze you.
yeah. You think that you've seen it all, and you know what's going to happen. And because
Mm.
let's be honest, even though we were supporting India, we just did
It
give
was
them a
a it
chance.
was the last match.
Yeah, we just didn't give them a chance. It was
Mm,
merely out of hope,
mm,
that we were hoping that something will happen and maybe India could draw the match or maybe even win the match. But deep down, we knew that this was Australia's match, and we thought, I mean, we've seen so much of cricket, and we thought that, okay, this is gone. This is Australia's match. The series is 2-1. Hopefully, India wins in Brisbane. But then you just can't expect what happens. And situations like this is where great players are made, like someone like Ben Stokes, who plays those freak
mm,
innings. This is where the real characters of the players are tested, and you find some gems, and hopefully we've found a few.
Hmm. And one more thing is like, whoa, the people were angry on Pujara and Vihari. Huh? People were about to drop Vihari,
Yeah.
and people were angry on Pujara of all the people. Like, whoa, slowest 50 in the world. Blah, like, shut the fuck up, people. Like, come on.
See, people don't realize.
Vihari is our upcoming. Vihari is our upcoming VVS Lakshman, folks. Let's
Yeah,
get ready for
see,
that.
because we are too quick to jump on conclusions. We just
Hmm.
want instant results. See, every player is
Hmm.
made different. You can't expect everyone to be like Jasprit Bumrah, come the first match and start performing. Everyone has their own
Hmm.
peak time. Everyone peaks at a different time, and you've got to give them time, because
Hmm.
uh, and people forget so easily. We lost the last series because of Pujara. God damn it!
Hmm.
No Pujara, and I don't think we would have won that series. He was the difference between the both sides. He tied the attack, and that is his role. People don't understand that. You can't just expect someone like him to come to the crease and just start whacking the ball. It's not his job. It's not his role, and it's not the kind of player he is.
Yeah, the people, if the people who are supposed to whack the ball are getting out, what the fuck is he gonna do?
Exactly.
That's not his role. Yeah, 180 ball 50, that's his job. I mean, if your role was to do coding and your tester is not performing, why the fuck you blame the coder, right? Like,
Exactly. We were not having a good opening partnership,
mm,
and the middle order was failing. We're having collapses after 5 wickets. We're 5 wickets down. So it's see. I think his role is dig deep, tire the ballers out, soften the ball, and make sure that others are bat around you.
mm,
It's not his fault that Rahane and Vihari are also playing slow. See, generally what happens, there's Virat Kohli after Pujara, and he makes sure he's the aggressor always in their partnership. So he makes sure that he shows more intent, his scoring runs regularly, he's taking the quick singles, taking the quick doubles, keeping the scoreboard moving. But even in the last series, this is how he played. This is his job. He'll take his own time. Once he crosses 50, his strike rate automatically increases. He starts whacking the ball. Even today, he whacked Cummins for three
mm,
fours in a row.
mm,
See, he tires the ballers out, and people don't understand the importance of tiring the bowling attack. If you see, India fielded
mm,
for 4 days in a row.
mm,
By the time India reached the fourth test in the last series, the Australian bowlers were down and out. That is
mm.
why they conceded 600 odd runs in the Sydney test, in the fourth test. See, there's a specific role for everyone. It's not his fault that others are not doing, and you suddenly start blaming Pujara.
For doing something that others fail to do.
Exactly. He's
Mm,
exactly doing what he's supposed to do, and
mm,
see, and you've got to give credit to Australia as well. They've come up with good tactics. They've blocked his scoring. In the last series, they were more to the leg side, middle stump, leg stump line, and this time they seem to have found a small weakness in his technique. They're bowling to the off stump line, hit the off stump,
mm.
hit the top of off stump line. So yeah, but he negated that well as well in this innings. But he's getting few jaffas where he's getting out, and
I mean,
probably
today's
yeah,
ball with Hazelwood, how do you possibly play that?
yeah.
Like,
He said it himself yesterday in the press conference that the ball he got out in the first innings, it doesn't matter, even if he was batting on 200, he would have still got
mm,
out, because you just play that ball and hope that it won't nick or it won't hit the stump. So people have got to show some patience, and people like Vihari. I mean, come on, the middle order already seems weak, and you want to take out a stable and technically solid player like Vihari. I just don't understand that.
same.
Yeah,
And what an ideal time, right? Because this might have been the last series of his career. His career would have gone into a break if not for today's innings, right?
yeah,
Because and what helped him in a sense is because in the first innings he was in this urgency to, like, he had to get runs because he had to get India ahead, right?
yeah,
Now it is kind of an ideal situation for him where his role was like, you know what, just be there. Don't worry about runs.
Yeah,
And he looked like he totally enjoyed it. He just totally enjoyed not scoring, just holding his fort
and
and just
spending some
chilling the
time
hell
in
out.
the
I mean,
middle.
yeah, I mean he was doing exactly what he loves doing in a sense.
Yeah, yeah. So and there were multiple factors when he came to bat, because considering the fact that when India plays in home, they don't
Hmm.
play Hanuma Vihari, because
Yeah,
you
because
generally
they don't need it.
need it. So and God knows when he'll play again. So as far as I know, the next abroad series is in England in August. So there's no cricket in middle, and a lean patch in the New Zealand series and here would have really hampered his chances of going to England again.
Hmm.
So yeah, and on top of that, he dropped a couple of catches in the field. He was demoted down the order, and a lot of things would have gone into his head. But credit to him, the way he played with an injured leg, it was brilliant. And
He just did Tewatia, but the opposite of Tewatia in red ball in a sense.
yeah, you can say that. No one was expecting of him.
Mm.
No one was
He was
expecting that he
digging
would
his
do.
own he was digging his own hole and then he came out. That's what
Yeah,
Tewatia did, right? So
yeah. So yeah, it was nice. It was nice to see that he got to spend some time in the middle. If you look at it, even Steve Smith does the same thing. He
mm,
takes a lot of balls. He takes a lot of balls to score. It's just that he converted that start into a big one in this
mm.
match. Before this match, even people were saying that, oh, he's out of form or things like that. There's a difference. There's a difference. You've got to admit that you've got to give credit to the opposition sometimes, that they've come up with good plans. They're bowling him well.
Mm.
And see, you can't keep a good player down for long. They'll eventually come up. So, and I think that is what we saw with Pujara uh, in this innings. And
Pujara, Labuschagne,
yeah,
Smith.
and people say that Pujara batted for so long in the first innings. Now, after the match is done, if you put that innings in context now, imagine Pujara
The-
had not batted for that long. Australia had even more time to bowl India out, which is
mm.
disastrous. India had 4 sessions. Had Pujara not batted so long in the first
They would have
innings,
had 5 6 sessions in the hand.
yeah, and surviving 5 6 sessions is
Impossible.
that's not possible. So yeah, people just need to have a bit of patience and trust the players.
Mm. Now, Gabba time. The Australian fortress. Generally, Australians play first match at Gabba just to rattle the opposition because they always fucking win there.
Yeah,
But what is happening? We though we have drawn this test match, though the series is perfectly set up, 1-1, the deciding test match, we have a fuck ton of problems, bro.
yeah, because going into the match, we don't have Jadeja,
Jadeja. Hmm.
and then there's question mark over Hanuma Vihari. So
Hmm.
let's just assume that Jadeja and Vihari don't play.
Hmm.
And considering that we have already lost a few players, we don't have anyone to bat in the middle.
Hmm.
Right. The only batsman who could bat in the middle is injured, KL Rahul. And you can't expect Mayank Agarwal or Prithvi Shaw to bat in the middle order. So then the the team which we thought is set, has got to undergo a change again. So
Hmm.
my guess is if Vihari and Jadeja both don't play.
No, number one question: if
Hmm.
Vihari and Jadeja don't play, are we going in with 4 bowlers or 5 bowlers?
I think 4 bowlers, because
Brisbane is bowling friendly enough.
yeah,
Let's not come Sydney.
bowling friendly enough. And the other thing is, if we go with 5 bowlers, there is no like for like replacement for Jadeja. So there's no other bowler who can bat, not even a bit. Then the already weak tail becomes very long,
Will we? Hmm.
will become very long.
Hmm.
So if we go with 5 bowlers, then after Ashwin, it's a big tail. And we all know that our tail doesn't whack.
Hmm.
So I think they'll just go with the extra batsman. So my guess is, if they both don't play in the next match, the opening combination will change. I think
Hmm.
Mayank might open with Rohit again, and
Hmm.
Gill might bat at 4 or 5.
Hmm.
So which will be Mayank, Rohit, Puji,
Hmm.
Gill, Rahane, Rishabh Pant, and I think they'll play Saha as well. So they'll play Rishabh Pant as a proper batsman and Saha
Hmm.
as a wicket keeper.
Hmm.
And then Ash, Bumrah, Siraj, Saini.
Now, uh, how about this? Okay, forget Saha. We'll make Pant the keeper. Bring Prithvi Shaw in. Is that that's not wise?
Prithvi Shah in opening the batting. I don't think so. I think they'll go with Mayank because
No, the Mayank. No, here's the thing. So no Jadeja, no Vihari.
hmm,
Bring in Prithvi Shaw and Agarwal.
okay.
Open with Prithvi Shaw and Rohit. Agarwal at number three. Everybody shifts down an order. Gill will bat at number five. Will that work? Will
And
that be a wise thing to do?
I don't think so. They'll go with that option because neither of Shaw or Mayank have experience batting so low down the order. Because
So
that's a
low.
yeah,
No. Shaw and I'm saying Shaw and Rohit will open. Mayank at
okay,
number three.
okay.
Pujara at number four. Rahane at number five. Gill at number six. Pant at number seven. How does that look?
I don't think it's wise to change Pujara's position because I
Right.
think it's
Okay.
he's
Hmm.
perfectly placed there, and anything lower down the order, it just puts the pressure on himself and the team.
Or you put Rohit in the middle. I'm just bantering now.
Uh,
Shaw and Mayank will open. Pujara Rahane will continue. Then comes Rohit. Then comes Gill. Then comes Pant.
they could do that because Rohit has played in the middle order,
Hmm.
but I think they will go with someone who has the experience of playing in the middle order, more
Hmm.
experience than Rohit Sharma, which is Saha.
Hmm.
Because playing in the middle is a different challenge in itself. You've got to face the spinners, and then you've got to face the new second new ball, which is not easy.
Hmm.
So I think I don't think they'll do such a drastic change. I think they'll just go with Rohit and Mayank on the top.
Hmm. They'll bring
Puji,
Saha in.
yeah, Puji Gill, because that way the keeper problem is also solved since everyone is so
Hmm.
worried about Rishabh Pant
Hmm.
dropping the catches. I think that will also be
And
solved.
Saha took a stunning catch on the leg
Yeah,
side in this match, I
yeah,
guess. Yeah.
yeah. See, there's no doubt he's a better keeper, but I think
Hmm.
Pant is a better batsman than
Hmm.
Saha.
Right. So that is about GABA, and we can't wait. I don't think Australia will do any changes. Doesn't look like.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Hmm.
What changes can they make? The most likely
I
one,
don't think.
if they were to change, the most likely one would be
Bring a batsman in place of Green. No, Green played well.
no. They'll bring a batsman in place of Matthew Wade, maybe who hasn't played well in the series. But I don't. It's highly unlikely they'll stick with
It's
the
likely
same
yeah,
11.
they'll back him. They'll back him.
Yeah,
They'll back
because
him.
he's a player like Pant. For them,
Hmm.
he's very aggressive and he can take the
Yeah.
game away very soon. So I don't think they'll make any changes.
Wow. What an exciting prospect. What an exciting test match. Perfectly set up for GABA. 1-1 series on the line. The retention of the trophy on the line. The one who wins retains the trophy. And the one who draws also retain. If India draws, India will retain the trophy.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
India, obviously, but the kind of attitude that India is showing, India will
Yeah,
totally go for a win.
they'll go for the win.
They'll go the win. So that's about it on this match, folks. On the first episode of Crick Punts with Fussy. Hopefully by next episode. He's an intern right now in YouTubing, so I'm kind of bringing him up to speed. Hopefully he will take over in few episodes to come. But this is our first episode. Stay tuned for the second episode, which will come out just before the start of the Gabba Test match. Till then, we see you next time. Like, share, subscribe. Bye, everyone.